this. Even the military doesn't deny this. They are very clear about the fact that they have that sort of presence.
You know, they indulge in these things. And there are excesses, and they do take place in every society. For instance, about CIA, at one time it was said that's invisible government. A book was written on them. And similarly, all the intelligence agencies, they have a tendency, which is because their job is of a clandestine nature, they tend to cross the limits, and they have got to be reined in. And as best as I could, I tried to educate my people to hold them back, and even to admonish them on these instances.
We have documented at Human Rights Watch enough cases of torture in the custody of the police, Pakistani police, and military intelligence agencies to know that that is just a fact of life. That's how it is. That is what happens here. Torture is widespread.
And there is huge evidence, overwhelming, that the government of Pakistan is maintaining illegal detention centers where torture goes on as a routine.
Ali Hassan was kept in a torture cell for 3 months and interrogated jointly by American and Pakistani intelligence agents. Nervously, he agreed to speak to us, but only if he didn't use his real name or show his face.
पहले रुई रखी थी उन्होंने आंखों पे, फिर पट्टी बंदी काली और फिर यानी कि टोपी चढ़ा दी, और उसके बाद गाड़ी में बिठा के यानी कि सेलों में, जब पट्टियां खोली तो हम सेलों में थे, यही बेसमेंट में टार्चर वगैरह किया, यानी कि जो डंडे होते हैं ये मारे पाँव के और पिंडलियों पे बांध के भी रखा है, 5 दिन जगा के रखा है मुसलसल, और करंट वगैरह लगाए, करंट 3 दफा या 2 दफा लगाए, और इधर चढ़ाते हैं कोई क्लिप वगैरह लगाए इन्होंने हाथों पे या पेट पे, तो उसका लगाया था शाग। तो एक दफा तो जिसम जैसे जो काफी सारे लोग डंडे से मार रहे होते हैं, इस तरह होता है, जब होश आता था फिर दोबारा शाग नहीं होते थे। एक दफा लगाते थे, तकलीफ होती थी, लेकिन तकलीफ के बाद जो इब्तदाई तकलीफ होती थी वो तो ठीक ठाक हो जाती थी, उसके बाद फिर यानी कुछ नहीं होता था, पता नहीं चलता था कि क्या हो रहा है। पूछते रहे कि बारूद किधर रखा हुआ है, मैंने कहा मेरे इल्म में नहीं है कि बारूद किधर है, मैंने तो बारूद देखा नहीं, फिल्मों में देखा है लेकिन इस तरह नहीं देखा।
When you talk of the war on terror, I think it's a different sort of a war. Here you don't look, you overlook the damage they cause, or the terror that they cause to the innocent people. We're in the midst of that sort of a situation where we are fighting a war against terror.
Would you say that some, if not as many are suggested, that some basic liberties have been the casualty of this war on terror?
What do you mean, some basic liberties have been?
That certain human rights may have been overlooked or trampled.
You're talking about the liberties of the terrorists?
Of citizens, sir.
Of the terrorists?
We are at 0 point now. All this is happening, yes. We are living as a free citizen, which we are not. I do not know when I will be picked up. For what offense will I be picked up? What wrong am I committing which will displease somebody else?
I don't find the appropriate word to condemn this practice of disappearances in such a blatant manner, and to make innocent people suffer and languish and subjected to torture. Oh my God, there can't be a greater inhuman barbaric kind. This is not a Gestapo age.
While there has been an expansion in media space in Pakistan, attacks on journalists have increased in recent years. The Committee to Protect Journalists, a New York-based watchdog group, rated Pakistan among the top 3 countries where press freedom is endangered. Reporter Mukesh Rupeka and cameraman Sanjay Kumar shot footage of US fighter jets taking off from an airbase inside Pakistan, one the government had denied was being used by the US. They were kept in illegal detention for 3 months and tortured. They were lucky to be released, but have not since spoken of their ordeal.
not aware of any journalist being abducted or has.
But William Engel, Saeed Sarbazi, Jodin Mari, Ayatollah Khan, goes on, and journalists has been one, I can tell you that.
I have not heard of any journalist being harassed. I am not aware of any specific case. There was a case of one journalist who had disappeared, Hayatullah. He, unfortunately, that was very sad, his dead body was later recovered.
Journalist Hayatullah Khan took a photograph of something Pakistan's government said was never there. Wreckage of a US Hellfire missile that destroyed a house in Pakistan's tribal area, killing several Pakistani civilians and one suspected Al-Qaeda militant. But there are more cases than the Foreign Office is willing to talk about. Countless cases of harassment and detention of journalists have been documented. There has been a vociferous outcry by journalists and members of civil society. But attacks on the press have continued.
You know, then the international community does not come down hard upon it. Americans have chosen to remain quiet on this because they are setting the example, they are setting the tone. I mean, they picked up people, taken them to Guantanamo Bay and to Abu Ghraib. Stories are out in torture camps in Kandahar and Bagram base, and all these stories are there. So basically the world leader in the flag carrier in human rights, America itself, when it is the violator of the human rights, then obviously the small minions who are our rulers, they can go to any extent.
If at all the aid would be stopped to Pakistan by United States and other agencies, it will not be on account of human rights violation. It will be for other reasons. It will be a policy decision will be taken that now ditch Pakistan. They would say Pakistan is no longer a country which is required in this process, or Pakistan has not done enough for our victory in Afghanistan. And I think Pakistan will be punished for that and not for human rights violation.
Islamabad is a battlefield today as thousands have turned out to protest the treatment meted out to the former deposed Supreme Court Justice Chaudhry Iftikhar. It has been widely seen as an autocratic